Should you use Duolingo to learn Spanish, or is it a waste of time? That's what we're going to get into this video, and then we're going to decide if we should keep the little birdie alive or put a price on its head and put it to sleep. Alright, the agenda for today, it's going to be a quick video. What to expect when you use Duolingo, pros and cons. What was my experience with it? Did it help me? And finally, my recommendation to you based on everything I just said. And I'm assuming you know what Duolingo is, but if you don't, here's a quick blurry video. They give you a sentence in Spanish and then you basically have to translate it in English. And sometimes it's a different activity, you might have to fill in the blank. So it's kind of like a game. You might consider it fun, you might not, but we're going to talk about if it's actually useful or not. So what is Duolingo actually good for? It's very beginner friendly. It's very easy to stick to. You're going to get reminders, notifications left, right, and center. And there's leaderboards and things to kind of incentivize you to keep using the app. But that never really encouraged me to keep using it. I never really cared about the leaderboards. It's not as boring as other methods. And then convenient, so when you're eating or you're on the bus, you can use Duolingo. But the biggest plus is it's a good way to get small wins and build momentum, especially at the beginning of your journey. That's the most important thing, because most people quit at the beginning before they get results, and Duolingo is a good way to just see some quick progress. But what is Duolingo bad for? It's got shallow grammar instruction, so for a lot of people that's a good thing. But for me personally, I felt like I still didn't really know how to speak or conjugate verbs even after using it for a while. The words they teach you are sometimes extremely useless. I remember just constantly getting taught how to say penguin, turtle, words that I still don't know how to say in Spanish, and I don't care to because I don't talk about penguins and turtles often. So you're gonna see a lot of words that just don't really matter. That's not what we do on this channel. On this channel, we focus on what matters. So subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. But even with these cons, you can't expect to learn a language with just one resource, so I'm not trying to shit on Duolingo. It is, especially as a beginner, it's a really good resource, but it shouldn't be your only resource, otherwise you're not taking learning a language seriously. So did I use it, and how much did it help me? As I mentioned, I did use it at the beginning of my journey, and I used it for quite a while, probably a few months. It definitely got me into learning Spanish, and then into the more useful resources, like I mentioned, like the boring stuff like textbooks and whatever else is out there. There's not that many good resources now that I think about it, except for my community. Link is in the description. But only go if you're serious about learning Spanish, okay, please. I don't want people who don't really care to learn Spanish in there. Okay, next is it gave me momentum and small wins. That's the biggest plus about using Duolingo. As far as how useful it is, for me personally, there's way better ways to learn a language. It's good if you're at the beginning of the journey where you don't have the habits in place to actually learn the language. And finally, I eventually stopped using it because, like I said, there's better ways to learn. So learning about penguins and turtles wasn't really moving the needle for me. So I switched over into other methods, which I'm going to talk more about on this channel, but that's for another video. So my final recommendation, I recommend using Duolingo if you're a beginner because of how convenient it is and the habits that it builds, but convenience and quality typically don't go hand in hand. If something is super convenient like McDonald's, you're not getting quality food out of McDonald's. So yeah, you're sacrificing quality to get convenience. So it's really only worth it to do that trade at the beginning of your journey. So what I would suggest is use Duolingo to get momentum. Once you have momentum, branch into things that actually help you converse in Spanish. Like I said, you can join my community with other motivated Spanish speakers or wannabe Spanish speakers to get there. Anyways, I promised it was going to be a quick video. Don't want to keep babbling on, so that's it. There's more content coming your way to help you become conversational in Spanish, just like I did. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.